They told you aging meant giving up pleasure, that after 60 your body slows, your desires fade, and intimacy becomes just a memory. But what if I told you not masturbating after 60 could quietly be costing you your strength, your prostate, even your life? I'm Dr. James, a men's health expert with over 30 years of experience helping older adults restore vitality, circulation, and confidence, especially when society tells them it's too late. And I'm here to give you a truth most doctors won't say out loud. Because while everyone's talking about diet and exercise, no one talks about this. The one natural private act that could protect your heart, boost your mood, support your prostate, and extend your life. In this video, I'll show you the science-backed benefits of healthy masturbation in older men, destroy the myths keeping you in silence, and share 5 practical tips to help you reclaim this part of your health with dignity and confidence. And at the end, I'll share the number one thing I tell all my senior patients about intimacy and aging, something that changes how they view their bodies forever. So, stay with me. This might just be the key to living past 82. Before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another honest, science-backed health tip made just for men like you. And if this topic resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback helps me serve you better. So let's begin with the first and perhaps most surprising benefit, one that affects every man over 60, your heart. Because what if this private act could quietly support the very organ that keeps you alive? 1. Protecting your heart. I've been a doctor for over 30 years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. The heart doesn't just respond to what we eat or how we move. It responds to how we live, how we breathe, and yes, even how we experience pleasure. That might sound surprising, but I've seen it firsthand again and again, especially in men over 60. When a man disconnects from this side of himself, when he shuts off intimacy even with his own body, something in him begins to quietly shut down. You see, masturbation isn't just about release. It's about circulation, relaxation, and connection. When you climax, your heart rate rises in a controlled and healthy way. Blood flows more freely. Your body releases a powerful mix of endorphins and oxytocin, chemicals that soothe the nervous system and lower cortisol, that nasty stress hormone linked to heart disease and high blood pressure. It's not just science. It's a kind of therapy your body gives itself, if you let it. There was a study in 2016 that really stuck with me. It followed over 900 men and found that those who engaged in regular sexual activity had lower rates of heart disease. That includes masturbation. I've had patients look at me in disbelief when I tell them this, but the truth is, this simple, natural act could be the very thing helping your heart beat stronger and longer. It's like giving your heart a gentle workout, one you don't need a treadmill for, and more than that, it relieves emotional pressure too. When your stress levels go down, your blood vessels open up, your blood pressure drops, you feel lighter, you sleep better. All of that adds up to years, not just of life, but of quality life. So if you've ever wondered whether touching yourself at your age still matters, let me tell you, it might just be the best-kept secret to keeping your heart alive. But the heart isn't the only organ that benefits from staying connected to your body. In fact, the next one might be even more vital as you age, and yet most men never think about it until it's too late. If you're still watching and this message is resonating with you, type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're still here. Still learning, still growing. Now let's move into the next benefit you absolutely need to know. 2. Supporting prostate health. Let me tell you something I wish more men over 60 truly understood. Your prostate is not just a small gland tucked away quietly. It's a gatekeeper of your vitality, your control, your comfort, and yes, even your survival. I've sat across from too many older men in my office who didn't realize how much power this tiny part of the body holds until they faced discomfort, urinary problems, or the terrifying words prostate cancer. But here's the truth no one ever told them. Masturbation can actually protect your prostate. I remember reading a major Harvard study that found men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer. At first glance, that sounds like trivia, but when you look deeper, it makes complete sense. Regular ejaculation helps your body flush out substances and fluids that could otherwise build up and contribute to inflammation or cellular damage in the prostate. It's not just theory, it's biology in action. In my years as a physician, I've seen this play out in real life. The men who stay sexually active, even through self-pleasure, often experience fewer urinary symptoms, less pelvic congestion, and a stronger sense of bodily control. It's as if the body rewards movement, connection, and release. And why shouldn't it? The prostate was made to function, and when we allow it to do so regularly, we're giving it the best chance to stay healthy for the long haul. That's why I believe this is one of the most powerful reasons older men should not be ashamed of masturbation. You're not being selfish, you're taking care of something essential. And trust me, your future self, the one who doesn't need to run to the bathroom every hour or sit through a biopsy, will thank you for the effort you made today. But the impact of masturbation doesn't stop at physical organs. In fact, the next benefit hits much deeper. Inside your mind, your emotions, your identity, and for many men, it's the difference between simply aging and truly living. 3. Boosting mental and emotional health. I want to speak to the part of you that doesn't always show on the outside, because physical aches are one thing, but the weight of loneliness, sadness, or feeling forgotten, that's a different kind of pain. I've had patients sit in my office, shoulders heavy, not because of a diagnosis, but because they feel invisible. After 60, so much changes. Children grow up, friends pass on. Intimacy sometimes fades. And with all of that, something inside can start to go quiet. That's why I want to tell you, masturbation is not just physical, it's emotional medicine. It's a signal to your brain that you're still here, that you're still worthy of connection, comfort, and pleasure, even if it's just you with yourself. When you allow your body to feel, you awaken the chemistry of healing, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. These aren't just pleasure hormones, they're the same natural chemicals your brain uses to manage stress, boost your mood, calm anxiety, and help you sleep. A 2018 review in Sexual Medicine found that older adults who maintained sexual activity, including self-pleasure, reported better emotional resilience and mental clarity. In my own practice, I've seen this change a man's posture, his energy, even the way he speaks about life. He feels like himself again, like he's allowed to feel joy, not just survive another day. You don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't need permission. You just need to remember that your emotional well-being is just as important as your cholesterol numbers or blood pressure. Masturbation reconnects you with something fundamental: your humanity, your vitality, your right to still feel good in your skin. And believe it or not, the act itself isn't only helping your heart, your prostate, and your mind, it's also giving strength to muscles you can't see, but you absolutely feel when they stop working. What am I talking about? That's where we're headed next. And trust me, this next benefit could be the difference between independence and losing control. If you're still with me and finding this meaningful, drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and engaged. Now let's continue with the 4th powerful benefit you shouldn't ignore. 4. Strengthening your pelvic floor. Most men never think about their pelvic floor until it starts to fail them. And by then, it can feel like the body is slipping out of your control. Maybe you've noticed it already: the sudden urge to urinate, the occasional leak, the way intimacy feels different, less reliable, less strong. These aren't just random signs of aging, they're signals from one of the most overlooked groups of muscles in a man's body. Now, here's the part no one tells you. Masturbation can help keep those muscles strong. It's true. When you climax, your pelvic floor muscles contract rhythmically. That action is the same one targeted in Kegel exercises. These are the muscles that support your bladder, your bowel, and your erections. And when you don't use them, they weaken. But when you engage them, even in private, even just for yourself, you keep them alive. You stay in control of your own body. I've had patients tell me they were embarrassed to talk about this. Some didn't even know what the pelvic floor was until they started having problems. But once they understood it, once they realized they had a say in their own strength, everything changed. They started practicing Kegels. They began masturbating again without shame. And slowly, they regained something they thought they'd lost forever: confidence. You see, the physical act isn't just about pleasure. It's a reminder that your body still works, that it still belongs to you, that you're not helpless against aging. You're participating in your own health, in your own dignity. So whether it's helping you stay dry at night, feel firmer in the bedroom, or simply walk with more pride knowing you're not losing control, this one benefit might be the key that helps you hold on to more than just muscle. It helps you hold on to yourself. But even with all this science and personal experience, I know what you might still be thinking. Isn't it wrong? Isn't it selfish? Aren't older men supposed to stop this kind of thing? Those thoughts aren't coming from your body, they're coming from the lies we've been told, and now it's time to break them. Myths that must be broken. If there's one thing I've learned after 3 decades in men's health, it's that the biggest obstacle to healing isn't always physical. It's the weight of shame. And sadly, nowhere is that more true than when we talk about masturbation. So many older men sit silently with questions, fears, and guilt, not because they're doing something wrong, but because they were taught to believe they are. Let me be clear. There's nothing shameful about staying connected to your body. In fact, what's truly harmful is the silence that surrounds it. Somewhere along the way, society started telling men, especially older men, that masturbation was immature, inappropriate, or even dangerous. And those messages stuck. They were whispered in locker rooms, passed down through generations, embedded in culture and religion, until they became truths we never dared to question. But now it's time to look at them for what they are: myths. Outdated, unscientific, and often cruel. No, masturbation doesn't make you weak or sick. It doesn't drain your energy or rot your memory. There's no evidence that it shortens your life. In fact, as we've already seen, it can support your heart, protect your prostate, calm your mind, and strengthen your pelvic floor. Those aren't my opinions. They're facts rooted in decades of medical research. Another myth: that masturbation is only for the lonely. I've counseled couples where self-pleasure actually improved their intimacy, because it's not about replacing connection. It's about understanding your own body so you can show up with confidence and clarity in any relationship, including the one with yourself. And perhaps the most damaging myth of all, that this act is somehow beneath you now, that after a certain age you should give it up. But the truth is, the need for touch, for pleasure, for release, it doesn't disappear with time. It deepens. And honoring it is not weakness, it's wisdom. So now that we've cleared the air and shattered those old walls of silence, you might be wondering, how do I actually do this in a way that's healthy, safe, and sustainable at my age? Let me walk you through 5 practical, doctor-approved tips that can change everything. Into you tips for masturbating healthily after 60. By now you understand that masturbation isn't something to hide from, it's something to embrace. But many older men still hesitate, not because they doubt the benefits, but because they simply don't know how to do it in a way that feels right at their age. So let me offer what I share with my own patients. Not just clinical advice, but real-world guidance shaped by decades of conversations with men just like you. First and foremost, give yourself permission. I know that might sound strange, but it matters. Many men carry years, sometimes a lifetime, of internalized guilt around self-pleasure. So before anything else, take a moment to remind yourself, this is normal, this is healthy, and you are allowed to feel good in your own body. Second, listen to what your body needs. At this stage in life, comfort matters more than performance. If once a week feels right, that's enough. If it's more often, that's fine too. There's no scorecard. This is about staying connected to your body in a way that feels natural and sustainable. Third, create a space that supports relaxation. That might mean dimming the lights, playing calming music, or choosing a time when you know you won't be interrupted. The mind needs to feel safe for the body to respond, so give yourself the same care you'd give someone you love. Fourth, don't be afraid to use support. Lubricants, warm baths, even body-safe devices can make the experience more enjoyable and gentle, especially if your skin or circulation has changed over time. If you're unsure about any products, check in with your doctor. That's what we're here for. Finally, remember that this is just one part of your health. Pair this habit with movement, hydration, quality sleep, and nutrition, because your body works best when everything is working together. These tips aren't about routines. They're about reclaiming agency over your own aging. And now that you know how to care for your body with dignity and wisdom, let me leave you with one final truth, the emotional core of it all, and why this seemingly simple act might just hold the power to change how you age, how you feel, and how you live. Conclusion. I want to leave you with something deeper than just facts, because what we've talked about today goes far beyond physical health. It reaches into your identity, your self-worth, and how you choose to live in the years ahead. We started this conversation by breaking the silence around something so common, yet so rarely discussed among men over 60, masturbation. Not as a taboo or a shameful habit, but as a powerful natural act that supports your overall health and emotional well-being. You've seen how it protects your heart by increasing circulation and releasing chemicals that calm stress and lower blood pressure. You've learned how it helps maintain prostate health, flushing out the buildup that can otherwise lead to inflammation or even cancer. You've heard how it supports mental and emotional strength, helping with mood, sleep, anxiety, and even your sense of self. And you now understand its role in keeping your pelvic floor strong, helping you maintain control, intimacy, and dignity. All of this isn't just interesting science, it's a call to honor your body, your needs, and your right to still feel alive. Because aging isn't about fading away, it's about evolving, deepening, and continuing to care for yourself in ways that matter, even if the world rarely talks about them. And we faced the myths, the harmful ones, the ones that told you this was wrong, weak, or selfish. You now know better. You know that pleasure and health are not opposites, they are partners. And you've got tools now, 5 practical, respectful ways to reconnect with your body without fear, pressure, or shame. I've spent decades walking alongside men in their 60s, 70s, even 90s, men who felt lost, tired, or forgotten. And I've watched them come back to life, not through pills or surgeries, but through small acts of care. Acts that reminded them they still matter, that their bodies still respond, that their pleasure still counts, that they are still very much alive. You're one of those men, and this moment, this conversation, might be your turning point. You're not broken, you're not past your prime, you're just in a new chapter. And it's one you get to write. So whatever you do after this video, I hope you carry one thing with you. You are still worth touching. You are still worth caring for. You are still worth feeling good, not just for your health, but for your life. Aging with vitality isn't just possible. It's within your reach. And if this message resonated with you, even just a little, I invite you to share it with another man who needs to hear it, because silence has held us back long enough. Now it's time for truth, for healing, and for pride in the men we're still becoming. If this spoke to your heart, hit that subscribe button, share this video with a friend, and type "I'm still alive" in the comments, because your story isn't over and your health still matters.